It's the Sumo Show, the podcast that discusses everything that's going on in Japanese Grand Sumo. Whether you've been steeped in sumo lore since the Heisei era, like me, Stan, or you're a dedicated fan who wants to get deeper into what's happening on and off the dohyo, like our good friend Troy, or you're brand new to the world of sumo and just want to learn what it's all about, no matter how much you know about the sport, the Sumo Show has something for you. So let's throw some purifying salt into the ring, do a few big Shiko foot stomps, and see what's new on this week's episode of the Sumo Show. So, konnichiwa, everyone. And Okaede, welcome back to my co-host, Troy.
Well, hello.
Hello, Troy.
What a basho.
It was. Holy cats, that was a fun tournament. A lot of ups, a lot of downs, a lot of what have yous.
A lot of drama, a lot of trauma.
Yeah. There's a lot happening.
Yeah, there is. And we're gonna talk all about it.
We're gonna talk all about days 9 to 15.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot to talk about, and we're gonna talk about it all. We're gonna go over each day, each match, move by move.
All right, maybe not each match. Just how nice is it that our last three shows have only been about an hour?
I think nice for everyone.
I don't think there's anyone that doesn't appreciate that.
Agreed. Yeah, no, great boss show. Really interesting things popped up, and both Stan and I live busy lives as professional professional ne'er-do-wells, and so while I missed some, you watched most, and together we will form a whole idea.
We'll be a sumo Voltron.
I like it.
Well, I watched it all, but
given the nature of how many people were injured, we need to make a sumo Voltron just to out of the remaining parts. Like, wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who are hurt. A lot of people who are a bunch of people, more people out this tournament than I think in the last 2 or 3 tournaments combined.
Yeah,
and on top of that, at least 2 or 3 people who were still in it that should
not have been. Yeah.
So yeah, it was after a fairly healthy period, we're now in a banged up period.
Right. Yep. Yeah. I was reading on Reddit, and people were using words like grim. I was like, wow.
I mean, depending, if one of the hurt sumo, one of the hurt rikishi is one of your favorites, then it is grim to watch them going out there every day and going, please, just get out of there.
Yes, take a nap, sir. Yeah.
And I mean, so yeah, in particular, Hokuto Fuji, not Hokuto, so many similar names. Gotta look at my cheat sheet again.
Are you thinking of Waka?
No, Hakuno Fuji.
Wakamoto Haru.
Hakuno
say that again. Yeah.
Former Hakuoho, now Hakuno Fuji. Hakuno Fuji, holy cats. I mean, both his feet are hurt. It's not like ankles or knees. It's his feet. And both of them have either fractures or stress fractures in them. And he's out there. He took a few days off, but he came back and fought through to day 15.
I mean, I don't know. Do they get a prize for that? I mean, it seems like the prize is early retirement.
No. I think his prize and one of his big motivations is the ongoing scandal, the ongoing violent scandal in which he was the victim, but is also being played out to take some amount of the blame, some for bad behavior that caused the violence being visited upon him, because it seems like the Sumo Association really does not want to hang the perpetrator out to dry, and so that means guess we'll be pointing the finger over here. And the fact that Hagano Fuji still has strong ties to the former Hakuho.
Yeah.
They yeah. No, this is definitely one of those times where what's going on has so much stupid political
Weight, yeah, unnecessary, yeah.
junior high school level political drama.
Yeah.
And that's then we talk about the things that bother us about the Sumo Association. And that's where I just hate that. I hate it.
Yeah, me too. I mean, honestly, it is the worst part of sumo, just that the whether it's gossip or whatever it might be. I mean, I think that there is a certain amount of fandom that engages in that kind of stuff and really wants to know all the dirt, and because they're idols and every minute of their waking lives is important to some people.
Yeah.
But it's not that important to me.
Right.
I want them to fix the bullying and do some good wrestling.
Yeah.
But
be that as it may, let's focus on the wrestling, on
let's do it.
The matches. When we were last here a week ago, we'd finished day 8, and it was a very interesting situation, shall we say?
Yeah.
And we're now going to look at what happened on days 9 through 15. So we'll start by looking at where things stood at the start of day 9. This is when last we left. This was the status of the standings. We had 4 Rikishi tied for lead at 7-1. It was Sekiwake Kirishima who came into the tournament with a chance to re-earn a promotion to Ozeki.
Yeah.
Which he lost in July of 2024. It's been a year and a half, 2 years since he was in Ozeki. And he struggled with injury and building himself back up, and then injury again. And now he's had 2 11-win tournaments in a row. If he can get 10 or 11 wins this time, if he can get 10 wins, he's got a shot at it. If he has 11 wins, he's got an almost certainty of it. If he can get 12 wins, well then
slam dunker.
Yeah. He will have 34 wins over the last 3 tournaments. And it's almost unheard of for someone to do that and not get promoted. So he was tied with Maegashira 4 Takanosho, who 2 years ago was a mainstay up in the Sanyaku as a Komusubi. I don't know whether he got ever up to Sekiwake, but he was Komusubi and Maegashira 1 and right around there and in fighting with him, and then just kind of fell off for a while and has been spending the last year or 2 in the middle Maegashira range mostly, and looking like he just couldn't get everything firing on all cylinders. Well, he had a really good week 1 here, 7-1. Maegashira 5 Koto Shoho, who won the July tournament last year out of nowhere, ranked. He was ranked about Maegashira 10 when he did that, which, as we often, we know that means your first week is much easier and it takes a while before you're facing very good, top of the level Rikishi. At Maegashira 5, you're probably not facing any of the like the Sanyaku people, but you're facing the people who have to face the Sanyaku people.
Yeah.
So going 7-1 in week 1 at Maegashira 5 is pretty strong. And then Gonoyama, who was just in that position we were talking about, he 7-1 at Maegashira 10. He's another guy who struggled for a bit. He's a pusher thruster who came on strong, and then people figured him out, and he's had a little problem being over anxious but he's putting in a very strong tournament. 7-1 in week 1, looking really good. And then right below them in second place. Only 3 people tied, so it's a little strange to only have 7 people in sharing first and second here at the end of week 1. It's about right. It's a little light.
Okay.
We got
It looks a little light. Yeah.
Hoshoryu or Yokozuna, who's still trying to win his first Basho as a Yokozuna, now more than a year in the rank. Or I guess this is he got promoted in this Basho last year. No, it was January, so he's more than a year in.
Really? Gosh, that seems like it just happened yesterday, but yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It makes a little sense. We'll talk about more about this later, but
Takayasu, Sekuake Takayasu,
yeah.
another former Ozeki who's getting a little long in the tooth and has looked for a while like he might be stumbling out, but in the last 6 months has been in the yusho race for most of the tournaments and has wound up in at least one playoff. Still, he in his career he's never won a tournament. That's one of the things that we talk about quite a bit. Really would like at some point for him to finally win a tournament. And could this be it? Every tournament we seem to be saying, could this be it?
Yeah.
In the end, the universe looks back and says, nope.
Not this one. Yeah.
But he's right in it. 6-2. Could this be it? We'll find out as we unveil what happens during this week.
Nice.
And then Koto Eho, who is Koto Shoho's younger brother. And this is his second tournament ever in the top division at Mike Shira 17. It's first time he came up and he got a Makekoshi and dropped right back down out of the top division. So this is his second bite at the apple, and he's gone 6-2 in week 1. So that's really good. Then we look at some of the other people who are doing well. Got Atami Fuji, Komusubi, first guy from Shizuoka Prefecture, the place where I lived when I was there. First guy from Shizuoka to make Sanyaku level in something like 82, 83 years. Hirodomi's doing pretty well. Our good buddy, the Sea Bream, Shodai.
Yes,
5-3. We usually count on him slipping up, and he was looking pretty sharp in week 1. Who else in here? Fujiseun. Fujiseun's another guy who's never had a losing record in the top division.
That's interesting. Yeah, he's not on my radar.
Yeah. And then 4-4, right, kind of splitting their way down the middle. We've got our Ozeki Kotozakura, who has been just kind of a middling Ozeki since getting it 2 years ago, making that promotion. He's not quite 2 years, but he's just been mostly getting 8 or 9 wins, which is light for an Ozeki. The expectation is Ozeki will get 10 wins. So he hasn't been Kadoban. He hasn't been threatened with demotion very often. But he also hasn't been performing as well as an Ozeki is expected to regularly. Like he very often is coming into the final day at 7-7, trying to eke out his his 8th win. So here at 4-4, he seems to be on the path to do that again. Daisho, who had been up for Ozeki about a year and a half ago, and then injured himself and has been struggling to get back into that form again. I think he's one of those people. Daisho's one of those people that really exemplifies to me the difficulty of getting in that rhythm and that form of being someone who's performing in the Sanyaku level. Even if you don't make Ozeki, like being a steady, strong Sanyaku performer.
Yeah.
Right? Because his injuries have healed now, but he's not burst his way back up to the top of the Banzuke. He's there and he's doing okay, but whatever magic dust he had, whatever it was, it had him being one of those guys that could be an Ozeki. It, he can't recapture that automatically.
Yeah.
He and Asanoyama, another guy who is also here, we see in the 4-4 group, who's fought his way back from injuries. He's had really bad injuries, but he keeps coming in. He's got the experience of being an Ozeki, right? Of winning tournaments, and he is also struggling here in the lower Maegashira to excel. So there's a combination of skill, power, and mental fortitude, and then just an aura of you're in the zone, you're the guy.
Yeah.
Boy, that's so effective. Once for any reason that goes, getting it back is a mystery.
That's why you and I keep our sense of we're the guys.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Kirishima, there's a guy who he's had that. He finally seems to be rebuilding that now. The last few tournaments. So besides trying if he can get re-promoted to Ozeki, he will have. He will be there, and the question will be, can he hold it now?
Yeah.
2 years later, 2 years older with nagging injuries.
Yeah.
Uda 4-4, which kind of surprised us. Ranked at Maegashira 8. I really expected him to do better. I picked him for my team, and for the Fantasy Oyakata, and that has not done me well here. Shishi 4-4 for him is doing a little better.
Yeah, not terrible. I mean, he's holding his own.
And then we've got Asanoyama, and then we're going to the people who are on the downside. They had a bad week one. They're on the losing end in week one, and we're starting right there with Ozeki Aonishiki. Talk about people that the start of the tournament, the talk was, can he earn a Yokozuna promotion? And here at 3-5, the answer is now no. No matter what happens, he is not getting promoted to Yokozuna now. This tournament. He needs to flip that around. If he can go 4-3, because there's 7 days left. If he can go 4-3, that's not good enough. He'll still be Makikoshi. So he's got to really flip it around. He's got 7 left, and he's got to win 5 of his 7 remaining matches in order to get Kachikoshi. He also never had a losing record in the top division. In fact, his worst performance as a Maegashira level Rikishi in the top division is 10 wins. He's never had less than 10 wins. In order to do that, he's got to win all of his remaining matches.
Right. That doesn't necessarily seem likely from this.
It's seeming like this will be his worst tournament ever.
Yeah.
As a top division Rikishi.
Yeah.
And then we scroll down a little to the Wakamoto Haru at 1-7, just looking terrible. And he hurt it. There's something wrong with his right elbow.
Yeah.
A lot of his fights he finishes up and he's wincing and holding it funny. Oh no, that's Wakataka Kage.
I was just saying, Wakataka Kage. The brothers got
Wakamoto Haru is just having a terrible tournament, and no one can figure out why.
Yes, that's right.
Wakataka Kage is there at 3-5 with the hurt elbow. Trying to piece it together. He's one of those guys, if you really like him, it's painful to watch.
Yeah. They do. I mean, he has some. It appears that he's injured. I don't know how else to say it. Yeah, that's.
He clearly is injured. Right? He's got that arm taped up and wrapped up, and anytime he has a fight that puts pressure on it, he he
Folds like that,
grimaces and
yeah.
he's holding it to his body. He's clearly injured. There he is trying to get a Kachikoshi. Yeah, not good. Not good. But then we come down to our Yokozuna Onosato. Sorry,
Onosato,
Onosato. I
yeah,
was looking up a couple above him.
yeah.
The people who have pulled out of the tournament. We've got, as of day 9, we have 5 people out of the tournament.
Yeah, yeah. And as many injured,
Right.
yeah.
Some of them. So Onoshomi, no. Who was it? Did Onokatsu come back? Onokatsu's back in after missing a few days.
Oh,
So
that's
he's in
what we
fighting.
were talking. Yeah, that's what we were talking about. I was talking about Onokatsu,
And
not Onosato. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Abi's coming back in. I don't remember whether it's day 9 or day 10, but Abi comes back in to fight and finishes the rest. Won't.
I mean, and he's got like a fractured back, right?
He's got a disc in his back, which is fractured, which is broken.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So we got Midori. Midori Fuji's been out the whole tournament and is going to drop out of the top division after this. Abi's trying at Maegashira 5, trying to keep from dropping too far.
Yeah.
Onosato just went 0-4 or 0-3 and dropped out.
Yeah.
It just looked terrible. Another one of those guys. His shoulder wasn't healed enough, and he decided he had to come in and fight anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just I just hate it. I hate that whole thing. I really do.
Fuji, he had a hurt foot. We were talking about that before.
Yeah.
Right. He had a hurt foot. He came in and on day 2 hurt his other foot. Went out and has come back. He's come back and he's going to keep fighting.
All right, if you insist, sir.
Anyway, so on day 9, what happened on day 9? I'm going to look at my screen. I'm not going to pull it up for everyone else to see, but Takayumi won, got a 4th win. Shishi got a 5th win. Tobizaru got a 3rd win finally. It got Tobizaru there at 2-6, looking terrible.
Yeah, not doing good.
Gonoyama got a 5th win. Asanoyama got a 5th win. Shodai got his 6th win. He beat Onokatsu. Hakuno Fuji comes back and beats Ichi Yamamoto. So he's back in.
There he goes.
2 broken feet, and he comes in and beats Ichi Yamamoto.
Yeah.
He, throughout the rest of the tournament, will look... If you can... Like so many injured Rikishi, you see this. They line up and they get to Tachiai, and if they can keep moving forward or do what they're trying to do, they're all right. But the minute they get stalled and someone puts pressure on them, it immediately hits their injury and it's over for them. And that's kind of how this week has mostly looked for Hakuno Fuji. If he gets off on a good Tachiai and is driving forward, he can just keep driving forward. And if he can get the guy to go out, it'll work for him. But if you can stall him long enough and make him have to dig in, he's digging in with 2 broken feet. And that just doesn't work for him.
Oh yeah, really seems as an affliction that doesn't suit sumo very well.
All right, so among our leaders, Gonoyama won, Koto Shoho won, Abi comes back in and wins. Wakataka Kage gets a 4th win. So we have some of our injured people coming in and trying to make us, you and me, look bad by winning and say, hey, look, we won.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I don't buy it. Kirishima wins to go to 8-1. And Takanosho loses to Hoshoryu. They had went head to head in the Musubi no Ichiban, the final bout of the day. Aonishiki gets a win. He beats Takayasu. Um, so that means that going into day 10, it looked like this. We had 3 in the leaderboard, so they're marked green because they've gotten their Kachikoshi.
Nice.
If you're marked green with a green outline, you have your Kachikoshi. If you're marked with a red outline, you have your Makekoshi. So Kirishima, Kotoshoho, and Gonoyama continue to be our leaders. Hoshoryu and Takanosho. Takanosho dropped from among a leader to be one of the second place. Hoshoryu was the only one of the second place guys who won, so he stays up there. Takanosho with him. And we see that Takayasu and Shodai and a bunch of people down at the bottom are all 6 and 4. So yeah. So on day 10, who's fighting who on day 2? So Hoshoryu's fighting Wakamoto Haru, who is doing terrible, and Hoshoryu beats him. Kotozakura gets a 6th win, beating Daisho. Aonishiki gets another win to go to 5 and 5, to looking like he's maybe trying to turn it around. That bad start. We said he had to win 5 of his 7 remaining. Well, he won on day 9 and he won on day 10. Good start.
Yeah.
Kirishima wins to stay in the lead. Abi gets another win, beating Yoshino Fuji. Kotoshoho loses, so he's going to drop out of the top place area. Gonoyama wins to stay in among the leaders. Uda drops to 4 and 6. So sad. Shodai wins again.
Yeah.
To go to 7 and 3. Tobizaru loses again to go to 3 and 7. Asanoyama wins to go to 6 and 4. I'm just looking to see if there's any of these matches. The Kirishima Takanosho match was a good one. Takanosho really putting in a strong effort. He and Hitomi both are guys who always look good, or tend to sometimes lose a lot, despite we know that Hitomi likes just goes crazy.
Yeah. Well, and Kirishima has it was actually, I think, Kirishima that inspired the just wanting to do a bunch of gifs of sumos hovering at the edge of the ring. Like he just kind of looks like he suspends all the rules of gravity. And
when he's on his game, and when he was an Ozeki before, it was especially so good.
Yeah.
Balancing right on the ring's edge and kind of like a supernatural being just dancing
right, like kind of sort of Matrixy or something. Yeah. You like it.
So that means going into day 11, at the end of day 10, we've got Kirishima and Gonoyama are alone, and Hoshoryu and now Kotoshoho, because Takanosho dropped down. Hoshoryu's hanging in there, and other people are falling past him. Right? He's the Yokozuna. If he's not going to be on top, we expect him to be there, fighting in and holding the ground and pushing the leaders until they fall back, until everyone falls back to him. And all right, I mean, 2 losses is not what you want that early in the tournament for a Yokozuna, but he's hanging in there. He's looking okay.
So real quick, just a quick question. I noticed that there were a lot of folks talking about Gonoyama spoiling a Henka, and I'm always curious as to what that move is. Like, what is the antidote to a Henka?
Well, I mean, if you we see people. I mean, very often, like Hoshoryu's been the kind of guy that does it. The
Yeah.
ones that are very light on their feet, and although they're going forward into the tachi, they are able to
Pivot
stop their
and
momentum enough to pivot and
yeah.
immediately turn to face the guy as he's jumping. So while he's in the middle of the air, jumping to the side, you can get your hand on his chest and start pushing him backwards already. And
Got it. Yeah. Yeah.
Gonoyama, who's as has one of his main faults is he tends to be overextended. He's he's pretty quick on his feet, and he did I don't remember what day it was that he did this, but he did that. What you're saying,
Yeah, it was
people were
day
talking about.
10. It
He
was day 10. Yeah.
someone it was day 10.
Yeah.
Oh, so he was fighting.
Asakoryu.
So he was. And yeah, Ascodiu jumped off to the side, and he was able to plant his foot and see it. And I mean, clearly he was expecting that might be a possibility, and followed it and just spun. And before Ascodiu could do anything, he had his hand on his chest and was sending him flying backwards.
And you love it. The reason I find it interesting is because I mean I've been conditioned to loathe the henka,
Yeah.
though legal, still crummy, still a crummy move, and a cheap shot. And it's always kind of interesting to see how people thwart the henka, and it's just it's you love to hear it.
There was so one of the things about the videos, daily videos from Kintamiyama.
Yeah.
The ones that I post on our Facebook page. One of them is by a guy that goes by the name Kintamiyama. And he gets the entire top division in 15 minutes. But because of the NHK problems, he only leaves the videos up for 24 hours. So
Yeah.
you got to watch them and that's starting at like 3 a.m. for us.
Yeah.
So at most it's up until 3 a.m. the next day. Very often, sometime in the evening, it'll just disappear. But one of the things he does in his videos is at the halfway point of the day's matches, he shows a couple of key matches from 10 years ago, from the tournament 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And this one had a match. I think it was today, on the day 15 matches, where Hakuho, who at that point 10 years ago, Hakuho was in the midst of he set the record at 33 yusho wins and was on his way to building his 45 that he eventually won. So he was a dominant rikishi at the time, for that decade, but he was still the dominant guy. There were 2 other Yokozuna and 3 Ozeki. There's a lot of very good rikishi. But they showed this match where Hakuho hanked.
Yeah.
And the crowd booed.
They don't like a henka. I bet there are a lot of cushions flying. There are a lot of
You just think what it takes to get a Japanese crowd to boo.
Right. That's right. It's pretty extreme.
Yeah. So let's see. Anything else big happen here on the day 11? Asanoyama wins. Shishi loses. Sorry, Tobizaru loses. Gonoyama wins. Tamawashi is having a terrible tournament. Tamawashi is going for a record of most wins in the top division, or surpass. He's not the most wins, but securing his spot. I think it's spot 7 for most wins ever. He only needs like 4 wins to get it, and he's struggling to get them. The other thing he's trying to set is he wants to get a Kachikoshi, not just because everyone wants to get a Kachikoshi, majority of wins, but if he does, he will be the oldest person to ever do that in the top division.
Nice.
I think he already is, but it's one of those. He's older by a month and a half, and if he wins now, they on paper they're the same age.
Yeah.
41 and 8 months versus 41 and 9 months. If he can do it now, he'll be 42 years old, and it'll look better.
Yeah. Clinch it.
But age really seems to have caught up with him at this point. I'm a little. I'm thinking that we may be saying goodbye to the Iron Man pretty soon.
Mm.
Hakuno Fuji beat Ura, which I was surprised by. Our fancy dancy Ura has been doing mostly just very straight ahead sumo this tournament, and it's not working great for him.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's right. He's doing straight up sumo. What's I'm always curious about what's behind that kind of thing. If it's part of the training, if it's like trying to evolve. That's interesting.
Yeah, it is. It is. My thought is that when we see people like Tobizaru and Ura who are known for being tricky.
Yeah.
I think that sometimes they know they just need to go ahead and if everyone's always expecting them to be tricky,
change the game.
It's hard for that to work after a while.
Yeah.
So I think that part of it is they're getting in there for particularly for Ura. I think Tobizaru's injured, but I think for Ura, it's definitely he's decided he's going to do more standardized sumo because everyone's expecting him to be tricky, and that's now a trick for him.
Right. Yeah. Right? Another trick in the bag. Right.
But it's not as good a trick.
That's right.
Because people know lots of defenses for it.
That's right. Yeah.
But I also think that what it frees up is in either next tournament or the tournament after, when he starts mainly going back to a bag of tricks, people realize, okay, I've got to be ready for him to charge at me.
Right.
Like if I'm expecting trickiness and he just charges at me, he might just overpower me, and I can't let him overpower me.
Right. Yeah.
So that's what I haven't read that anywhere. This could just me making stuff up, but that's what I think's going on. I think that he is decided that he needs to do this for a couple of tournaments of mostly sticking to pretty traditional, particularly tachiai and beginning of the matches.
Yeah. Kind of reset the palette for the rest of the.
Until everyone starts expecting that of him, and then he can.
And then just go buck wild. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, no, hoo, I'm a crazy man.
Yeah, exactly.
Hakuno Fuji wins again. Abi wins again. Their records are terrible, but they come back and are winning, and it's still looking hurt.
Yeah. I will say that it is not pleasant to watch wrestling with one person that's injured. It really just feels.
I was looking at the day 10, not day 11. That all happened on day 10. On day 11, Tobizaru won. Udo won. He beat Asa Hakuryu. Hakuno Fuji lost to Toki Hayate. Abi lost to Fujinokawa. So it's starting to hit him again.
Now this is where it starts to dip. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Takakage beat Hiradomi to go to 6-5. So he's getting closer to that Kachikoshi and still hurting himself more. Kirishima beat Gonoyama. They went head to head on day 11. Our two leaders.
Yes.
Because Gonoyama at Maegashira 10, they had to start promoting him, and because as a Sekewake, Kirishima's days 13, 14, and 15 are going to be against the other Sekewake and Ozeki and Yokozuna. So to get a Maegashira 10 into a slot against him, it has to happen earlier in the week. So they put the two leaders against each other on day 11, and Kirishima won. Aonishiki lost to Kodok Shoho.
Yeah.
Takayasu went up against Hoshoryu and lost. And I mean, that's Takayasu tends to give Hoshoryu a very hard time. But the thing was, here in the second week, I think it was this match and beyond. Uh, I don't know what happened. Takayasu looked like he was having balance issues, but he wound up losing matches where he would just kind of fall down.
Oh.
And now it could have been foot problems, it could have been leg problems, it could have just been getting himself in bad positions. But mostly, it looked like he wasn't. His balance wasn't set for digging in and fighting back, and he just like boop. But there we go. So we go into day 12, and we're looking at it like this: Kirishima all alone at the top, with Hoshoryu, Koto Shoho, and Gonoyama right behind him, and only Fuji Seiyun behind them. So it's starting to fall away. Our number of people with Kachikoshi is not growing as quickly as our number of people with Makikoshi.
Oh, that's a rough comparison. Yeah.
Got who's there right on the bottom on the edge of Makikoshi, Tobizaru, one more loss, and he's Makikoshi.
Come on, buddy.
Ura there at 5 and 6. Nishiki's 5 and 6, so now he can only afford 2 more losses. So this is there are 4 days left.
Well, hold on real quick. The Roga position,
yeah,
it's not surprising, but what's going on? Why? I mean, this is pretty bad.
What?
Roga's standing in day 12.
Yeah, it's not that. I mean,
he's not injured, right?
He's just Roga.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Like when he came back after being injured,
yeah,
a couple of years ago, I think both you and I really kind of got on the Roga wagon.
We did, yeah.
But he's shown us that Maegashira 10, maybe not his best position, but he's a real waffler, right? Sometimes he'll be up around Maegashira 7, and sometimes he's down around Maegashira 13, and he looks like he kind of belongs in both places.
Right. Yeah. So this is just kind of where he lives then. Yeah.
That's how I take it. I'm not that surprised to see him. 4 and 7 is maybe a little.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm surprised.
Like the 5 and 6.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm surprised as much as I am just concerned. I guess I'm still have shreds of like, oh, that guy's looking great, in my memory. But yeah. Well,
we want him to be better.
Yeah, that's all.
He's not. Wakamoto Haru, there are Komusubi already 2 and 9. 2 and 9, still fighting. Atami Fuji, who's his first time at Komusubi, which, as I always say, one of the toughest spots on the dohyo.
Yeah,
7 and 4, one more win away from his Kachikoshi in his initial tournament in the Sanyaku, which means that he's got a good chance of being promoted to Sekiwake if he can get that one more win. Seeming pretty likely at this point. And it's Kirishima, 1 win at 10 wins. He's now in that range we said. If he got 10 wins, he's looking pretty good for an Ozeki promotion. And if he gets 11, he's almost got it. He's practically got it locked in. It's possible with 33 wins over 3 tournaments that they might not give it to him, but it's not likely, particularly if he's spending this tournament in the lead.
Yeah.
So if he's getting promoted up, there will be a space in Sekiwake. And that Atami Fuji is set to go make that move.
Interesting.
But if all depends on how the week plays out. But things are looking really good there at this point. Shodai 7 and 4.
Wow. I mean, you just don't. You never know. You just never know what he's gonna do, and he's doing it.
All right, so that's how things look entering day 12.
Okay.
So on day 12, what happens? Well, I'll tell you one of the things that happens is Kirishima's match is against Hoshoryu. They've got them paired up on day 12. And Kirishima wins.
Good for him. I mean, bad for Hosh. I mean, like that's just rough.
And
Yeah,
this is going to come back to haunt Hoshoryu. We're going
yeah.
to talk about it later on in the post-tournament buzz. But yeah, he did not look good against Kirishima. He didn't look terrible, but he didn't look like he had a plan. And
Well, he didn't look like the big boss, right?
yeah, he didn't look
Yeah.
like. Yeah. Kirishima wins. Pardon me, which means that he's going to remain the leader. He's the sole leader. He's going to hold on to it, and Hoshoryu is going to drop out of second place.
Ouch.
Who else is in second
Kota
place
Shoho,
there?
that's a good spot.
Hmm?
Kota Shoho is
Kota Shoho is good, and he wins on day 12.
yeah.
He beats Yoshino Fuji and Gonoyama. Who did he fight that day? He fought Kotozakura and lost. So he's also going to drop out of second place. Yeah, so they bumped him up, and he's starting to take the losses, which is the point of it, right? You do so well, they promote you, and so you get to be
right. Yeah. Before you right into
well.
the pain zone. Yeah.
Abi gets a third win. Hakano Fuji loses again. He's now 3-5-4.
Tobizaru, my buddy.
Tobizaru. How does he do that day? He lost. In fact, Tobizaru is doing bad, and he's now in the second half of this week. He's very often in the pairing for the first match of the day, which is not a good sign.
Oh.
He lost to Takeru Fuji, who is up visiting from Juryo.
That's ouch. That has to hurt. And I mean, if there's a match you don't want to lose, it's the one where they call the new kid up from the bottom ranks and he whoops you. Yikes.
So a lot going on. So at the end of day 12, going into day 13, Kirishima's in the lead. Koto Shoho, who had the win in July and then has looked, like it was a fluke ever since, is alone in second place with Hoshoryu and Gonoyama right behind them. Which we see Asanoyama gets his Kachikoshi. Shodai, however, we see didn't.
Yeah.
He lost. Asanoyama did it. Takanosho got it. Kotozakura, we're talking again. He hasn't had a double digit win, which is the measure of a just kind of what's supposed to be an average performance from Ozeki. He hasn't had a double digit win in over a year,
and that's rough. Yeah.
So in order to do that, you've got to get that Kachikoshi. You got to get that 8th win with a few days left. Right at day 13, there are still 3 days left for him to get the 2 more wins he might need. If he can get 2 out of 3 remaining wins, he can get double digits, which will be good for him. Obviously, Tobizaru did get his Makekoshi. Roga got his Makekoshi.
Yeah.
Ura is now on the bubble going down. Daisho's on the bubble going down. Aonishiki, we talked about he needed to win 4 out of 7.
Not so
much.
Well,
now he's got to win all of his remaining matches. He's got to win all 3 of the remaining matches to avoid going Makekoshi. And we got a bunch of people there in the middle. It's like we talk about 7 and 7 is coming to Stan's house. This is mini. This is
6 and 6.
6 and 6. All right, suck it up. If you don't want to go to Stan's house, you better start winning now.
Right? Yeah. The 6 and 6.
All right. So on day 13, let's see who are our matches. Hoshoryu beats Kota Shoho, which we'll talk about what that means. But if you look at that standings, you see what that means is that's going to pull Koto Shoho down, and there's going to create those gaps we always talk about between the leader and the people behind him.
Yeah, that's right.
Aonishiki beats Kotozakura.
Mm.
So at 5-7, and knowing that he's going to have to face the rest of the top level guys, my thought was, oh, he's just screwed. But Kotozakura, who's already got the 8 wins, Aonishiki manages to beat him. Kirishima gets a 12th win, by the way, beating Oho. Konoyama loses. Tommy Fuji gets an 8th win. Look at that. He's about to join them, which, again, woohoo, that's what he needs to hopefully get promoted to Sekiwake. Wakataka Kage gets an 8th win. Rotten elbow and all. In fact, I believe in this one, he won the match, and he really looked in stupid serious pain. I
saw shots of that. Yeah.
But looking here, Ura loses again. Tamawashi gets a 4th win. Shodai loses to Fuji Seiyun.
Is he gonna? Yeah, this is the funny part. Like, we know that the outcome has outcomed, but is this the downward spiral, or does he scrabble his way?
Right. We were looking at him at 5-3 after day 8.
Yeah,
on his way up.
Yeah,
he went then 7-3, right? He was 7-3. Now he's 7-5.
Well, the thing about Shodai that's consistent is that he is never consistent.
Inconsistency.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, things look like this. This is going to day 14, which is Saturday. It's the final weekend. We've got day 14 and day 15. Kirishima is 12-1 with a 2-match lead, a buffer between the only 2 people behind him, Hoshoryu and Koto Shoho. So, if he wins one more match, he wins the yusho. Or,
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
If both Hoshoryu and Koto Shoho lose one more match, that'll take them, they won't be able to catch him.
Yeah.
So his magic number is 1 for himself or 2 losses, 1 each for the other 2.
And I love this because this is one of the fun moments of the Basho. Like, will he, won't he, can they? And I like that.
So we see going on all the greens stretching all the way down that first column. Our 7 and 6s, Shodai still can't manage to get it. And if we look, we see that Aonishiki has managed to stay above the red. As the red's creeping up, Aonishiki is still up there at 6 and 7.
Yeah. God, look at that.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
It's going into day 14. So on day 14, I'll tell you right away that Kirishima fights Aonishiki.
Uh-huh.
And loses. So Aonishiki is going to stave off, and Kirishima, if he had won, would have secured his
position as the winner.
Yeah. He would have secured the win for the tournament.
Yeah.
However, Koto Shoho or Hoshoryu loses to Kotozakura.
Ouch.
Loses to Kotozakura, who he never loses to.
Yeah.
Again,
he was rattled. He's rattled. Yeah.
And Koto Shoho loses to Atami Fuji, who's also surging. So that means that all 3 of them lost. But because the 2 below him lost, that means Kirishima wins the Basho. He wins going backwards.
That's right.
Still got 1 day to go. But and when they did an interview with him, he was saying, I wanted to win, but I guess I'll take the tournament. But I didn't want to lock it up this way, but I'll take it.
Right. Yeah.
Who else? Takayasu loses again to go to 6 and 8. 6 and 8. Again, he was right there in the mix, and everything kind of went sideways for him. Daisho wins to go to 7 and 7. Abi gets another win. Asanoyama gets another loss. Tobizaru gets a win. All right, so let's see. So going into day 15, going into day 15, we get Kirishima, 12-2 with a 2-referee lead. They haven't made him gold yet, though they could because he's won the tournament. He's 12-2, 3 people behind him at 10-4, but there's only one more match.
Not enough math to yeah.
Today's match.
Yeah.
His worst possible record is 12-3, and their best possible records is 11-4.
Yeah.
We see here as we look at our 7-7s, who's coming to Stan's house? Aonishki's coming to Stan's house.
Yeah, that's right.
For the first time ever. Shodai, once again, coming to Stan's house.
He's very familiar with that. And what we mean by coming to Stan's house.
Whatever I serve, he likes it.
Yeah, exactly. What we mean by coming to Stan's house is that Stan, when we get to the 7-7 moment, Stan's paying close attention to this. It seems like a shorter band than I've seen before. So a light guest list, but still, yeah. And Shodai is often the guy that's coming over to.
Yeah, I always say those are my favorite matches because everything rides on this match. This is you've got to focus. And ever since the match fixing scandals in the early teens, the Sumo Association has been very adamant about scheduling these guys with meaningful opponents, very often against each other, so that only one of them can win. And in fact, that's what happens here. Daisho and Shodai go head to head, and Fujinokawa and Oho go head to head. And Aonishiki goes up against Hoshoryu.
Yeah.
Final match of the day. He beat Hoshoryu last time to get the tournament, and Hoshoryu is supposed to want some payback, and Aonishiki still fighting to get his Kachikoshi.
Yeah.
So it's a very significant match. And it was a very good match. I don't know if you saw it.
I saw a clip, but I've got it flagged for sure.
They in the end, the final maneuver, they both had both of them went for leg throws, so they both had their back legs locked together, trying to trip the other one.
Yeah,
and Hoshoryu won. Hoshoryu had the upper edge. He's a lot more tricksy with those leg trips, and so he gets his 11th win, and Aonishiki gets a Makekoshi. Kirishima fighting Kotozakura loses again. So he wins the tournament, but loses his last 2 matches. Again, it's winning going backwards.
Yeah. Yep.
But it's still a win.
It's still a win. That's right.
And Shodai and Daisho at 7-7 each go head to head. And miracle of miracles, the Sebream won.
Pulls it out.
Shodai won.
The reversal. I mean, he does this. This is what he does. Like, he will pull it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not as often as he sucks it up, but yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, he just has these moments of like, you think you just never know how to feel about Shodai because he's doing badly, and you're like, yeah, that's what he won. Never mind.
Right.
Yeah.
And Oho, we haven't been talking about him, but he's one of those guys, young, still relatively young, guy who's predicted to do really well. And every time he gets into the Sanyaku, he just has a terrible tournament. And that happened to him in January, which is why he's down here at Maegashira 3. And he's trying to get back up to the Sanyaku level again. Only getting a 7-7. He's got to get this win to get another shot at it. Fujinokawa beat him. And usually what happens to Oho is when he's in this position, he turns on his dominance. And he didn't. Fujinokawa beat him and beat him pretty squarely. So our final standings look like this. Kirishima is our winner, 12-3. He gets the yusho, his 3rd yusho.
Congratulations to Kirishima.
That's 12 wins. He's got 34 wins. Even though he lost those last 2 matches, he got 34 wins over 3 tournaments. The Sumo Association actually called an extraordinary meeting of the promotion committee to talk about it. And when they do that, that means the guy's gonna get promoted.
It's happening. Got it.
So we've got a third Ozeki next tournament, which is good because one of our Ozekis, Aonishiki, we can see down there at 7-8, is going to be Karaban.
Yeah.
Going to be threatened with demotion if he doesn't have a winning score. Now, I'm not terribly worried about that. His injuries don't seem that bad as long as he takes some time off and heals up. He was up for Yokozuna this tournament.
Yeah.
However, if you want to look at it the other way, that's kind of what happened to Kirishima 2 years ago. He was on the verge of getting promoted to Yokozuna when a nagging injury pulled him down, and he's been 2 years getting back. So nothing's guaranteed, but I don't look at the kind of problems that Aonishiki's having and think that that it's likely to pull him down like that. But you never know. Hoshoryu finishes second place at 11-4. You'd think that'd be good, right?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to talk about that in a minute.
We are. The heat is up.
We're going to talk about that in a minute. Koto Shoho, another. So, 2 tournaments in the last year where he's finished first or second. The problem is that the tournaments in between, he's really not looked like the kind of guy that you expect this from. So he's not doing it regularly, but he seems to have he has that in him. So the question for him going forward is, can he harness that and do it reliably? But he's going to get a nice promotion there from Maegashira 5. Our third placers, Kotozakura, got his double-digit wins. Look at that.
Nice.
By beating Kirishima, he got his 10th win. So that is a perfectly respectable score for an Ozeki.
Yeah.
Nothing to crow about, but he hasn't done it in over a year. So good
So
for
he's fighting
him.
at his best, and yeah.
Atami Fuji finishes at 9-6 at Komusubi. That's really good. Kim Bozan, look at him down there. Kim Bozan gets a 9-6. Koto Eho, Koto Shoho's younger brother, in that we talked about before. His first bite at the apple, he dropped back down. This time, 9-6. Very good score.
Yep.
Let me switch my view. No, you're not going to see it. Let me switch what I'm looking at on my screen here, and the special prizes. Kirishima got a special prize. Koto Shoho and Fuji Seiyun got special prizes, and Fuji Nokawa got special prizes. I never remember which is which. Shikun Show, I think, is outstanding performance. Kanto Show is fighting spirit. Koto Shoho got a fighting spirit award. And Gino Show might be technique. Maybe Shikun Show is technique. I never remember which is which is bad for me. Bad man.
Well, I mean, only if you do a podcast about sumo.
I know, only if you're supposed to be a thought leader. But yeah, Shodai gets his Kachikoshi there at Maegashira 8. He'll pop up a little. Asanoyama, again, I picked him on my team. I wish he'd done a little better than that, but he did get his Kachikoshi. Mitakayumi got a Kachikoshi, so he's now doing that 50% of the time.
Nice.
After last year, it really looked like he was about to get to the end of his career.
Yeah.
Here on the downside,
why is Wakataka Kage kind of? Oh, well, yes, because he's gone. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Anyone who is not fighting on
is
grayed out.
Yeah.
But he only missed the last 2 days. He got his 8th win. And then said,
that's why I was just momentarily confused, because I'm like, wait, he got his 8th win, but he is that makes sense.
Got his 8th win, And then he said, "My elbow hurts. I'm out of here." And his elbow really hurt.
Yeah.
It's so sad to see him fighting like that.
Agreed.
But at Maegashira 1, he might get a Sanyaku promotion. And our other Maegashira 1 was Makekoshi. Yoshino Fuji was 7 and 8. So let's see.
Will they take his injuries into account when they're making those decisions? Do you think that he's got a shoulder issue, or do they just strictly look at how he performed and plug him in?
They no, they basically plug him in by what he earned. No, and they certainly don't take it into account when they're dropping you down. So
yeah,
it's pretty rare that you've got that kind of injury consideration and you're going up.
Yeah, it is. This is a rare moment too.
Yeah. So let's see what we got. Only looking at our Makekoshi people here, we got Aonishiki and Ozeki. He's not going to drop down, but he will be Kadoban next time. Takayasu at 7 and 8 is probably going to drop into a Komusubi slot. One of our Komusubi there is Atami Fuji. So he will probably go up to be Sekiwake. He'll take the spot that Takayasu is abandoning. But so both of our Sekiwake are leaving. Right? Kirishima's going up and Takayasu's going down.
Interesting. Creating a little vacuum there.
Yeah, but Takayasu's had some weird luck in the last few years of going 7 and 8 and maintaining his spot.
And keeping his spot. We talked about that a couple programs ago. Yeah.
Looking at what's going on, who have we got that can be promoted to Sekiwake? Right? So Tommy Fuji for sure is going to take one of the Sekiwake spots.
Yeah.
He's going to go up. He's already Komusubi. He got a 9 and 6 record. He comes up. Let's look at that. In all of our people in green, we don't have a lot of single digit. Like Takanosho, are they going to bump him up from Maegashira 4 to Sekiwake because he went 9 and 6?
Well, that is really interesting.
Right?
What are they
going to bump him up to Sekiwake from Maegashira 2 because he barely squeaked by with an 8 and 7?
Right.
I think that there's a very there is a very real possibility. I was going to say a strong possibility. The very real possibility Takayasu will hold on to his Sekiwake West rank because there's no one who's in a position to
rise, to
rise up to it. Right? There are going to be no both Sekiwake spots are empty, and because one of the Atami Fuji's going up, and where's our other Komusubi? Is that Waka Motoharu? Oh yeah. Yeah, he's going down, right? Let's see if apparently I cut that off. Yeah, Wakamoto Haru is our other Komusubi. So he's going down. So once Atami Fuji goes up, the Komusubi rank is empty. So we got do we want to promote someone above to leapfrog Komusubi to fill the Sekiwake spot? Probably not.
Yeah.
I think there's a very strong likelihood that Takayasu is going to stay Sekiwake despite having a 7 and 8 record.
I want a bummer for that guy, but I mean, I get it. I understand why. Just the construction of the list, but I mean, that's just a bummer.
Which means that the Komusubi are likely going to be Takanosho and Fujinokawa. Because there's no one else. Let's say there's no one else. Shodai is the next highest rank
I was
in,
going to say,
in the
do you think? Yeah.
Kachikoshi. Look at all that. Oh no, Koto Shoho at Maegashira 5. Yeah, but he's at 11-4. Oh, there's a question. They're gonna
Yeah.
Fujinokawa at Maegashira 2, only going 8-7. He's the highest ranked among them.
Could he do it?
Yeah, I think Koto Shoho will leapfrog up into there. I think Koto Shoho will get the nod, and probably Fujinokawa, and Takanosha will go up to Maegashira 1.
It's my favorite part of the process here is just kind of seeing how people shuffle around it, because sometimes it's just like, what in the world? Like, where did that come from? Why are we choosing this? But it's interesting to learn more about it. It's my journey on this Basho is to try to.
This is where it might be interesting for me to. I didn't turn on my my pad here.
Yeah.
But if I'm about to, so that we can look at this from the Banzuke, because this view that we're taking from the
what is his name?
From Herbert, Sumo Herbert.
Yeah, Herbert.
Thing is really great for watching day to day, but for doing what we're talking about right now, it's going to be easier if I switch to
a more linear.
Yeah. Come on. Replace with this. This is from the Grand Sumo app, the Sumo Association's official
of which you are a paying customer, a proud paying customer. Yeah.
So here we're looking at the way we usually do rank. So we see that no, come on. We want to look at Hoshitori by Bansuke.
Well, Stan's doing that. Right, don't forget, friends, you can join us on Facebook. All you have to do is go to facebook.com/groups/The Sumo Show, or just search The Sumo Show. We're the only, at least for now. Stan, at least for now, because everyone wants to do The Sumo Show. But yeah, no, Stan's going. Yeah, right. I mean, yeah, we're oft imitated.
Never duplicated.
Yeah. But you post on a regular basis, keep people up to speed, and give folks all the deets and stuff. Yeah.
Particularly during the tournaments, I post every day with links to videos for you to watch, and I give my interpretation of the day's news. All right, so Hoshoryu still going to be Yokozuna East. He won. Onosato had it 0-4 and 11. He's Yokozuna. He's going to stay there.
Oh, hey, real quick. Hello, Marvelous. Good to see you.
Marvelous, you tuned in just in time. We're about to wrap this part up and
talk about
about how our Fantasy Oyakata.
You and your buddy Shodai. Huh.
Yeah. So here we see Aonishiki at 7-8 and Kotozakura at 10-5 at Ozeki. They'll switch. Kirishima, we know, is going to get a promotion. He will be they'll split Ozeki into two tiers, Ozeki 1 and Ozeki 2.
Yeah.
And Kirishima will be in Ozeki 2 as one that's newly promoted. And they may put him east and may put him west. There's no real absolute way they need to do that.
Yeah.
Depending on how many Yokozuna there are and other things, they sometimes will leave the east empty and make someone a west side, just so that the Banzuke balances out east and west. So Kotozakura will be our Ozeki 1 East, Aonishiki will be our Ozeki 1 West, and he'll be Kadoban, and Kirishima will be our Ozeki 2, probably West, because of how the Maegashira ranks are going to pan out after that.
Okay.
But it's no difference, right? It's not. It's a cosmetic difference. And then we're going to have an empty Sekewake rank Although, as we talked about before, I think because of how everything else falls out, right? Kirishima's going up, Takayasu's going down, but Atami Fuji's coming up, and
Yeah.
Wakamoto's going down. So they've got empty Komusubi ranks. And then Wakataka Kage. Oh, Wakataka Kage. I forgot about him. He definitely gets promoted to Komusubi. All right, yeah. So Wakataka Kage will be Komusubi.
Yeah.
And probably then, yeah, Fujinokawa will probably get the bump. Maybe Takanosho will leapfrog him. Well, so it'll be Wakataka Kage and either Fujinokawa or Takanosho. Probably Fujinokawa. But then we look and Yoshino Fuji's heading down, Churanomi's heading down, Hiradomi's heading down, Oho's heading down, Daisho's heading down. Right? Abi's heading down. Koto Shoho and Takanosho are probably going to be our two Maegashira ones. And then we've got just another one of those things. What we got here? Ichiyamamoto is okay, but Onokatsu's going down. Oshoma's going down. Hakuno Fuji's going down. Ura's going down.
You know, it is interesting.
Be a mess. It's going to be a mess.
Absolutely, yeah. And the other thing that's interesting about this is that there is. It seems to me that there's a lot of people winning by others losing in this particular Basho, which is interesting.
So yeah, so that's how the tournament wrapped up.
Not a bad tournament, not a bad Basho. It was exciting.
Yeah. But so one thing we're going to talk about is after the end of the tournament. They had a meeting and they decided for sure that, or pretty much for sure that Kirishima is going to get promoted. It hasn't been officially announced, but they had the meeting, which means it's for sure. But that chairman of the Sumo Association, at the end of the tournament, came out and is usually making a statement about how everyone's doing. We know the kind of language they use, and a little slight is an insult.
Yeah.
This is what he said.
Yeah.
About our Yokozuna Hoshoryu. He said Hoshoryu was no good. Yesterday, this is referring to the Friday. Yesterday, his sumo was the worst.
Yeah.
And a sumo who allows a 12-win yusho. You say Kirishima wins the yusho with 12. That's okay. It's not great, right? We talked about it. He lost both of his final matches in the final weekend. And a Yokozuna who allows a 12-win yusho is no good.
Use the word pathetic.
He needs to reconsider his tenacity.
Yeah.
In the first half of the tournament, he lost to opponents who had nothing going for them. He needs to rethink his mental game.
Yeah. That's a tough one. I mean, and you just got to kind of go, because when as you mentioned, Japanese culture is very diplomatic, very sort of double entendre, or polite but devastating. This is just devastatingly devastating.
Just come out and say all that bluntly as the head of the Sumo Association. That's a big slap in the face. That's a big wake up call. But we've been saying about Hoshoryu now that he got that promotion, and we did a lot of hand wringing over whether or not that was a good thing for him, and whether the pressures that were going to be put upon him as a Yokozuna, right? That he was going to be able to perform up to them.
Yeah.
A couple of things. We talked a lot about how his normal performance level was not Yokozuna level. And then a few months ago, we also looked and said, you know what, he's improved his regular performance.
Yeah.
But this is now falling back to that. As an Ozeki, this would be fine. As a Yokozuna, it's not.
It's not good enough. Yeah. Yeah.
And
And
so
that's a bummer. It is a bummer to be this far into it, looking back on his performance and just say, oh, what we worried about, the worst has come true, that he's looking like he's not the guy. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not like they're going to he's Yokozuna, and as long as he's winning double digits and he's not handing out buttloads of kinboshi, although he's handed out a lot, but
record breaking a lot. Yeah.
He finished with 11 wins. It's not like he's going to get forced into retirement, but once they start talking about him in that way, they're going to keep talking about it. It's going to continue to be, he's not. He needs to do better. He's not good enough.
That's a rough one, and it is rare that they do that. But yeah, that's interesting. That once the seal is broken, then you're on the shit list.
Yeah.
Pardon my French.
Until he wins a tournament and starts averaging 12 wins a tournament, this, I think, is going to become more and more regular for.
Do you think Hoshoryu responds well to that kind of shaming or that kind of public ridicule?
Maybe. I mean, he stepped up his game when people started saying, when he was in a mid Maegashira or approaching Sanyaku level, people were saying, well, I mean, he's not as good as his uncle.
Got it. Yeah.
And he responded and made that run that took him up to Ozeki and got him to where he was. And he was a very strong Ozeki. But then he got the promotion. So be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, absolutely. Got the promotion, was instantly out with some kind of a toe-based injury, and then
still hasn't gotten that first win as a Yokozuna.
And that's tough. That's really a tough one.
Now, of course, go ahead.
I was just going to say, it'll be interesting to follow his reaction to this. When I think of motivating people, I don't often think that the most effective way is to, publicly shame and ridicule. But it'll be interesting to see how Hosh responds to that. And I just,
yeah. So it's weird. Again, sumo's a brutal sport, and
it is
can turn around very, very quickly. You can go from good to bad a lot quicker than they go from bad to good.
Yeah.
But just think about 3 months ago, and we had Hoshoryu and Onosato firing on all cylinders, and Aonishiki on the rise.
Yeah.
And how strong everything looked.
Yeah.
Look at it now with Hoshoryu getting publicly ridiculed.
Mm-hmm.
Onosato, I mean, the worst negative prognosticators will look at his shoulder injury and say that's what took his Oyakata out. And he hasn't shown that he's back yet, right? He may never. That's the kind of injury that it's possible he may never recover from.
Bounce back from it.
That really could be what. I mean, it's not going to get him out of sumo in the next 6 months, but by this time next year, if it's not looking like that shoulder is going to get better, maybe he will, because they're not going to let him stick around forever as a one-armed
guy. Yeah.
Aonishiki had his shot here, and like we were talking about earlier 15 minutes ago, chances are it doesn't look like the kind of injury that's likely to stop him. He could very easily, and my expectation is that he will bounce back and be putting upward pressure again.
Yeah.
But maybe not. Right?
Yeah.
Maybe if this toe problem is kind of like the one that wound up taking Hakuho out at the end of his career, he's going to have to learn how to fight with it. If nothing else, it's going to be an adjustment period. He's going to have to learn how to fight with it.
Yeah.
And that will slow him down. And then we've got Kotozakura, who's just hanging around being an average Ozeki, suddenly our era of golden children is turning into one of, oh, all right. I mean, it's not like it was 4 years ago, but we don't have. We've just got a bunch of people who are good and fragile.
Right. That's right. Good and fragile. Yeah. Yeah. It'll be interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna look at that. So the other thing I'm gonna watch for in the next Basho is how I can possibly pick a better roster of Rikshi so that I do not end up at the bottom of the list for our
Well,
fantasy.
I mean, you really got the Onosato dropping out is a
just
huge. I mean, we're about to look at the.
Yeah.
You want to do your sound effect?
Yeah, let me do that. Here you go. This is Fantasy Oyakata.
All right. So we're going to look at our Fantasy Oyakata game. This is how it looked last week at day 8 when we finished. Right. This was how it was all playing out. 20, still everything was pretty tight.
Yeah.
After day 9, it looked like this. Lightning Rikshi, Marvelous, who's in the chat now, jumps up into the lead.
Look at that. Congrats. That's great.
We still have a couple of new guys, Shinanoru and Aaron's gang in second place, and Masutarida in third place, and then there's me and Interrobang, Jackie.
I thought the two of you were going to duke it out for the top.
We were, but we between us, one of us picked Ura, the other one picked Tobizaru, and yeah. So going into day 10, it looked like this, and Lightning Rikshi now has a 3-point lead, but things tighten them up. Shinanoru, Aaron's gang, and Masutariba tied for second, and Jackie and I are kind of back here struggling.
That's right. Yeah.
Hayaheya, they're hanging out.
Oh, poor Hayaheya.
Snowy got hit even worse than you by he picked 2 people who wound up having to go Kyujo early. Day 11, Lightning Rikshi still out, still with 3-point lead.
Looking good.
No real changes there, right? Masutarida and Masutarida and I are now in second place.
Yeah.
And Shinanoru drops down below me. And I say, oh, thank goodness, there's one person between me and Jackie. And then we go to day 12, and all of a sudden, there's 4 of us tied for second place. And Lightning Rikshi had a great day. He had 5 wins, and
look at that score.
A 5-point lead after day 12.
Yeah.
And then we come into day 13, and it's only 4 points now, and Aaron's gang is back closing in on him.
All right.
Arida and I are still there. Shinanoru's hanging back. Tobizaru really wound up being the anchor on Jackie this time. He just didn't. His bad performance. What are you gonna do? You understand how that is, right? Ura's performance was just that half a step better that let me feel like I was in the mix a little longer.
Right.
Because on day 14, so Aaron's gang now only 3 points behind Lightning Rikshi. Masutari pulls ahead of me, and now I'm tied with Shinanoru. And we're going. Meanwhile, you're catching up to Lamar. Only 1 point behind him there.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
And that's after day 15.
Yeah.
Or day 14.
Day 14, yeah.
So we got to look at what happens in the final. So I switch my view again. If I can find it. Here we go. This is, I got to find it on my desktop. There we go. These are the final numbers. So down in last place, we know for sure. Oh no, this is the best possible. The best possible result, 62 points if you picked Hoshoryu, who gets a point for finishing second. Kirishima, who gets 2 special points, one for finishing first and one for getting a special prize. Let me just adjust this on my screen a little. Okay. And Koto Shoho, who gets 2 special points, one for finishing second and one for having a special prize. Gonoyama and Fuji Seiyun, who there were several other people who were 10 and 5 in Lower Maegashira, but he also got a special prize. So that makes him the only person to be worth 16 points, or to be worth 11 points.
On nobody's radar, right?
And then if you picked Kirishima or to win, you'd get a point. And if you picked Hoshoryu or Koto Shoho to finish second, you would get a point. Very few people did either. All right, so let's look here. Level 10, or this is place 9 because of math. Snow finishes out 30 points. He had Onosato and Kirishima and Yoshino Fuji. A lot of us had Yoshino Fuji. Onokatsu killed him, and Asanoyama didn't so good. And he picked Onosato and Kirishima.
Sometimes you just got to pick, and you know that maybe they're not the best, or maybe you're hoping against hope. But yeah, thanks for playing.
But like you, right? You pick Onosato, and he falls out, but he also had Onokatsu.
Yeah.
So that bad luck. I think we've all had that in one or two of our,
or a lot of them.
Yeah. All right. Next up is
Lamar. Okay.
Who had Aonishiki and Kirishima and Hiradomi and Oshoma and Shishi. Picked Aonishiki and Onosato. Which means that in the next spot is
it's me,
our good friend Hayaheya, Troy.
It's me. That's right. Yeah.
No, Onosato. What can you do? Kirishima, Yoshino Fuji, Ichi Yamamoto, and Asakoryu. You picked Onosato and Hoshoryu, so you get a point for having picked Hoshoryu.
Yeah, again, one of those situations where I have won the next tier up because Lamar dropped. Not because I'm doing particularly well, but anyway.
Well, no, you won the next tier up because that 1 point is your having picked Hoshoryu to win.
Got it. I see what you're saying. I see.
That's where you got your extra point.
Well, take that, Lamar.
Take that, buddy. Next up, we've got Jackie in Terabang. 44 points. She picked Aonishiki, Kirishima, Yoshino Fuji. Look how many Yoshino Fujis. And even the one who didn't pick Yoshino Fuji, same score.
Yeah.
Ura Asahakuriya. And she picked Aonishiki and Hoshoryu. She gets an extra point for Hoshoryu.
Nice. Yeah, Jackie, you came out like a lion. Yeah.
Good. Well done, Jackie. This is a tough one to prognosticate.
Yeah,
I say that because in this next group of 2, there I am. 46 points. Masutarida and I both I got some better points here for Hoshoryu over Aonishiki. We both picked Kirishima. We both picked Yoshino Fuji. Ura, however, was not as good a pick as Gonoyama. That's a more inspired choice.
I do like the ongoing rivalry between you and Masatuda. That's fun.
Masutarida Jackie and I think the three of us have a little rivalry going.
Yeah, yeah.
None of us got any points, although, Jackie got a point for picking Hoshoryu, but neither Masutari nor I got any points here. In fact, so far, you and Jackie are the only ones that got point in picking that.
We did it, Jackie.
All right. In third place, we have Shinonoryu, Daniel, one of our new guys.
Nice.
Who had Hoshoryu and Kirishima and Hiradomi. Look at that upper Maegashira. Everyone's so the Sanyaku, everyone picked Kirishima, so it's exactly the same.
Yeah.
So far in the upper Maegashira, despite having a slight difference, the scores are all the same.
Interesting.
He also picked Gonoyama. Gonoyama turned out to be a really strong point in this. But Oshomi did not do him any good. And he picked Hoshoryu and Onosato. No points out of there. And then for our final first and second place, they were battling it out through the whole week 2. In the end, Marvelous. Lightning Rikishi wound up.
Congratulations, Marvelous.
51-49. They both had Hoshoryu. They both had Kirishima. So look at the upper Maegashira. The only person who did better than 8 and 7 was Marvelous, and everyone else is 7 and 8. Oh, wait, it should be 8 and 7, not 8 and 6, but doesn't change anything. Doesn't change his points, and he gets his special from having getting a Kimboshi, gotten a Kimboshi, and then Shodai.
I'm so surprised he did all this with a Shodai. Yeah.
Not as good as Gonoyama, but I would have bet that having Shodai versus Gonoyama would have hurt him more than that.
Yeah.
And then in the final lower Maegashira, Asanoyama and Tobizaru. Tobizaru hurt Aaron. That's a big. I think that's where you got your win.
Yeah.
There's your 2 points right there. Asanoyama over Tobizaru.
Marvelous says, "Let's go."
Yeah. And Aaron hurt by not picking winner. He didn't pick winners.
Oh, interesting. That's right.
So he didn't have any chance to get any points. But if we look at the final score of everyone involved, there were only 2 points handed out total for picking the winners. And that was one for you and one for Jackie. But no one else got either winner or second place.
But Aaron did pretty well considering that he left out some choices, and that's so pretty spot on there. Even though you didn't,
So our final is our Yusho goes to Lightning Rikishi, Marvelous Jefferson, and the Jun Yusho goes to Aaron's gang.
Congratulations, everyone! Of course, that as a prize you get this. This is what you get.
Yay!
There you go.
Well done.
Put that on your LinkedIn.
You get to be proud.
Yep.
Marvel said he picked winners and got them. It could have been different. Yeah, but we look at what no one, at best, someone picked one.
That's right. Yeah.
And
well and truly won. No question about it.
Yeah, and given the way things had gone, he was more likely to have picked Hoshoryu to win than.
That's right. Yeah.
So
that's exciting stuff. Fantasy Oyakata for the Haru Basho and
Haru Basho.
Yeah. One more down. I like it. What's next for us?
Next for us is probably the Bansuke for the Natsubasho at the end of April.
Yeah, are we doing a wrap up? This is our
wrap up.
This is our wrap up. Yeah. We're wrapping it up.
Anytime something big's going on, we could pull a show out of our butt.
Yeah, we often do this one. This comes right directly from there.
And the best way to know that is to be a member of our Facebook group.
That's right.
That's where we will announce that if we're doing a show on the spur of the moment, we will announce it there, or subscribe to the YouTube channel.
That's right.
But we don't have, there's not anything going on. There's not no promotions going on. I suppose if something big were to happen with the violence scandal, I can see us maybe deciding to do a show about that. But I don't think it will.
Yeah.
I think the biggest news about that is how much they're going to quickly brush it aside and bury it and make the solutions not really hurt.
Right. Yeah.
Which is sad. So we'll talk about that when we're talking about the Natsu Basho, whatever winds up happening. In the meanwhile, let's say the Facebook page I will post some links to articles about it, and we can talk about it there. If anyone has any questions, definitely that's the place to post them. I will answer.
And we can talk about that or many other facets of sumo. And, it's sometimes it's fun between the bashos to get in there and ask some interesting questions or something that might have struck you as strange or interesting. And we get into it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Hey, friends, don't forget, as you're watching, those folks who watch on demand, because we see you, we see that you're watching, we do appreciate it, but you should join. You should make sure that you're following us on your outlet of choice. If you're over on YouTube or you're over on Twitch, give us a follow. Go ahead and click on that bell. I mean, we only give you a message when we go live, and you want to know, you want to be in the know. So do that. And our thanks for everybody who participated in Fantasy Oyakata and all the kind words that we get on the Reddit. And we really do enjoy doing this, and we like that you like it too.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So what say you, Staniel?
I say that in lieu of anything else going on, maybe, hey, you want to play some drums?
I do. This is me playing, by the way. And here we go. Ready? And...
You have been listening to The Sumo Show, a live podcast about the art and sport of sumo. Your hosts tonight have been Stan Brown and Troy Hewitt. Production by Troy Hewitt. Sumoliering by Stan Brown. And initial charge by Tachi Troy. So until late April or early May, we say to you, Ja matane!
Bye!